Then how would you kind of describe the attitude in the locker room after 2 straight losses, and now you're at the midpoint of the season? Coach said there's no panic. Just how would you kind of just characterize the mood?
I mean, we're all disappointed, especially given the expectation that we had. And, our record doesn't necessarily reflect our team. I think it just reflects our decisions. So I think for us, it's just about finding the right continuity and consistency, and then getting the confidence that we could actually, go out and execute. Because sometimes when we lack confidence, then it's kind of hard to actually be that team that we say we are. And I think for us, we're not like Coach Locke said, we're not disappointed. Not disappointed, but we're not like in a panic mode. But I would say that like the sense of urgency is definitely like it's been rising, especially like since we lost to Indiana, and honestly since we lost to Michigan State, because we kind of left food out there on the table for in pretty much every loss that we had. So I think for us is we just really just want to find that confidence, and once we find that, then I think we'll be fine. But we're right where we need to be though. Yeah.
Week to week, obviously, it's a 1-0 deal, but I don't know if you guys look at the big picture. You have 6 games left to get bowl eligible. I mean, schedule's obviously pretty rugged down the stretch. Just how do you look at the big picture, or is it always just head first what's coming up this week?
We should always be head first, but I know sometimes, like even as people, we always look at the big picture too. So I think for this stretch, I think this is like destiny for us because, like things didn't go our way in the beginning of the year, but I think for this tough stretch, like we really need to be our best, and I think we really gonna rise to the occasion because like we all want what we say we want. So yeah.
Donnell, their running game, Woody Marks, what have you seen on tape? What is it about him that makes him special?
He's an explosive back. He can make plays, bounce off of tackles, run through tackles. Big play guy. But for us, it's just about what we do and how we could actually neutralize them a little bit. But I think for them, they have a complete offense. But I think for the running game, the only thing we got to do is handle them up front on the O-line, and then on the edges, we set the edges, and then we should be okay.
Defensively, especially in early September, you guys getting the takeaways. You guys had a lot of swag early on. How do you get that groove back for this stretch here?
That's a good question. So I remember when, on my previous teams where, we might have had a little skid and, the locker room was a little shaky, the coach was a little shaky. I think for us it's just about just staying together and being positive and just putting your best foot forward every day individually, and then like collectively it'll all come together. But I think just always having that positive mindset and positive attitude, it always could it's like when you keep banging the hammer on the nail, and it's like if you keep being positive, keep coming to work every day, keep doing what you got to do, and just being a good leader, being a good teammate. And I think that part is going to help us come together, because swag and confidence all just comes from like being confident with who you are and who you're playing with. And I think you develop that, like the confidence, and the trust is also going to be factored into that also. Then I think we'd be in good shape.
You mentioned a shaky locker room on a scale of 1 to 10. On the ranking scale, how shaky
I'd probably say it's about a 0 or 1. If 10 is the worst and 0 is the best. So I think we're all in a good state, good mental state. It's just got to keep doing the work, and I think the work will take care of itself.
Donnell, a minute ago you talked about kind of a sense of urgency for you guys. This is your first test against one of the new Big Ten teams in USC. With so much just change going on in the conference, with the new teams, new coaches, Indiana, Michigan State, things like that, do you guys feel any kind of sense of urgency that you need to keep up with those new teams and those new coaches, that you just need to keep up with that and not kind of fall behind in that sense?
I wouldn't say it's about keeping up. I would just say it's about just maintaining ourselves, because I think when you're trying to just keep up with other people, then you kind of lose sight of yourself and lose sight of like what you really work for. And I think for us, it's just like as long as we don't beat ourselves, we would have been in good position anyway, as y'all know. So as long as we stick to what we do and how we roll and how we want to go about our business, then I think everybody else don't really matter. And then we'll just see where we are come December. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Donnell, you transferred here, obviously, and for guys who kind of come in, you came from a lower level program. How difficult is it to adjust to playing in the Big Ten and playing, teams like USC, teams like Ohio State? What was kind of that period of adjustment for you when you arrived?
I think the only period adjustment was pretty much like the window dressing of everything. So, like the football piece is always going to be football. So, it's like if you always had like good habits, good mentality about it, was always coachable, always gave good effort, was always like a player in the defense where they could game plan for you or do something for you. And I think that part always going to take care of itself because it's like that's what got you here. So really can't let that part go. But probably the hardest adjustment was just a new system, new expectations, would say new teaching in a way. So sometimes, like, you got to, adjust the terminology. You got to adjust to what type of technique and what type of footwork they want you to do instead of how you did it at your previous school, that it may not work if you don't do it their way because, it's just some things, But I think for me it was just keeping the main thing, which is football. And that's always taking care of me. So I think me handling and my motor has always, got me here too. So I think having a high motor is also a good way to actually adjust to the Big Ten because the Big Ten's a fast league. So I think just always carrying those habits that you had at your previous school. If you had good habits, then it always comes together for you on a bigger level anyway. So.
Hey, Donnell. Obviously, with a rough start to the season, how have you, being an experienced player yourself, how has the experienced players kind of helped the younger players not get too down on themselves and help them realize that this is not kind of the end of the season, there's still a second half?
I think for us, because we're always used to starting the season about 5-0, so it's a little rocky right now, especially because just because of the expectation. But I think for us, it's just staying positive, not really being calm through the chaos, if that makes sense. So I think that's our job as older players to kind of set the example that everything is okay because at the end of the day, yeah, we're 500, but if you look at it, we're 0-0, but yeah, like you said, we got 6 games to get 5. 6 games to get 6. So we'd be fine. But the only thing we just gotta keep the main thing. The older guys are always going cater to the young guys because we need them. And I think for us, we just want to keep creating that positive culture because if we create that, then that swag and the confidence and everything else that we want is going to keep showing up. So.